Okay, next is the fuselage. So the first thing to do is to attach the triangular strip in front of the leading edge here, and then along the top edge, where you'll need to cut a number of slots on the curves to get them to go around the curves. And the bottom one's a little simpler because that's straight. So the only thing to be careful of is just test fit the formers between the triangular strips, just to make sure that they're going to fit snugly. Okay, and then the next thing to do is to cut out a piece of acetate sheet. So I bought a pack of 5 on eBay for a couple of quid. So just lay it on top of the plan and mark it out, and then cut it with some scissors. Okay, here's the fuselage. I have a building jig to get the fuselage straight. So here you can see the formers, here, here, and here. And I've just got this on just to put it nice and tight across this one here. If you don't have one of these building boards, the important thing is to try and get the fuselage nice and straight. So you could have a piece of paper with a centre line drawn on it, and just make sure that you pull in the back end so it's equal distance from that centre line. After you take it out of the jig, just make sure that all the surfaces are square and flat along these edges here, and at the front here, and along here as well. So obviously you want this to be flat so the covering is going to fit on nice and square with no big gaps. So just run your file over this edge here and make sure it's all nice and even. And at the back, just need to sand off around here and make sure everything's fitting flush. Okay, so here's the motor installed. So a couple of blobs of hot glue holding that in, and then this is the tube running back from the motor through the former there and exiting at the top, and I've just got some tape securing the joint and the wires going through that hole there. Laminate the cheek pieces. These are pieces 10 and 11, so you just stick these two together and those two together, and then stick them on the plan. Be careful here that they shouldn't go strictly in alignment with the fuselage side. They will be just slightly tapered in or parallel with the centre line. Okay, here's the bottom of the fuselage. Now, the instructions say to sheet the bottom with a 5mm sheet. So that would mean placing this, something like this, but cut to shape. But I was concerned about the wing fitting underneath. And if we place the wing in position, which is about here, as the wing was originally, it obviously had a big V-shaped ridge going along the backbone, and the outcome of that is that if you try and rest the sheet on top of it, it's standing way proud at the back and it just won't sit down. So what I've been doing is sanding off the bottom here to make it flat, so that if you put a rule across, you know, it's getting a bit closer to what it needs to be. So what I've done is I've cut the rectangle here for the air intake, and I've started to sand this, and I'm going to sand it some more so that I can lay the sheet on top and it'll fit perfectly. I sent a picture to Tony Nyhouse and described my problem, and he sent me an email with an attachment of loads of build photographs which are really useful. It's a shame I didn't have them at the start. And this shows the sheeting underneath already fitted, and then cutting across at the trailing edge and then lifting that trailing edge so that you can slide the wing in. So, you know, I can see how that's going to work, and I guess the important thing is to just trial fit the wing first and the covering so that you can work out how much you're going to need to sand off the bottom of the wing in order for it to fit reasonably flat against this sheeting.